Like all of you, I was shocked and saddened by the deaths of several young people who were bullied and taunted for being gay, and who ultimately took their own lives. As a parent of 2 daughters, it breaks my heart. It's something that just shouldn't happen in this country. And we've got to dispel this myth that bullying is just a normal rite of passage, that it's some inevitable part of growing up. It's not. We have an obligation to ensure that our schools are safe for all of our kids. And to every young person out there, you need to know that if you're in trouble, there are caring adults who can help. I don't know what it's like to be picked on for being gay, but I do know what it's like to grow up feeling that sometimes you don't belong. It's tough. And for a lot of kids, the sense of being alone or apart, I know it can just wear on you. And when you're teased or bullied, it can seem like somehow you brought it on yourself for being different or for not fitting in with everybody else. But what I want to say is this: you are not alone. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything to deserve being bullied. And there is a whole world waiting for you, filled with possibilities. There are people out there who love you and care about you just the way you are. And so, if you ever feel like because of bullying, because of what people are saying, that you're getting down on yourself, you've got to make sure to reach out to people you trust. Whether it's your parents, teachers, folks that you know care about you just the way you are, you've got to reach out to them. Don't feel like you're in this by yourself. The other thing you need to know is things will get better. And more than that, with time, you're going to see that your differences are a source of pride and a source of strength. You'll look back on the struggles you faced with compassion and wisdom, and that's not just going to serve you, but it'll help you get involved and make this country a better place. It'll mean that you'll be more likely to help fight discrimination, not just against LGBT Americans, but discrimination in all its forms. It means you'll be more likely to understand personally and deeply why it's so important that as adults we set an example in our own lives and that we treat everybody with respect, that we are able to see the world through other people's eyes and stand in their shoes, that we never lose sight of what binds us together. As a nation, we're founded on the belief that all of us are equal and each of us deserves the freedom to pursue our own version of happiness, to make the most of our talents, to speak our minds, to not fit in. Most of all, to be true to ourselves. That's the freedom that enriches all of us. That's what America's all about. And every day, it gets better.
Welcome to Global Government News. Today is Saturday, October 23rd, 2010. And there you heard it, folks. Things are getting better. And that was about free speech. And that was about divide and conquer. That was a very, very, very crafty little speech that he gave. And unfortunately, because I showed it, I'm not going to have the time to go through there and dissect it, although I would like to do that one time, go through one of these speeches and just kind of dissect it. But you can tell what he was saying basically was that you got to reach out to somebody, whether it's friends, family, or other folks. He's talking about the government, to go to your teachers. And of course, when you can't speak your mind, you're no longer free. So what he's proposing there is, we want to stop discrimination, but we're going to have to not speak our mind in order to do that, right? So you're no longer free in the end. This whole anti-bullying thing. I'm not surprised to see that our Fuhrer put out a little Big Brother message, and that's exactly what it looked like. It was creepy, dude. Very, very creepy. And I'm not surprised to see this because I've seen it in the media and the little tabloids. And when the tabloids show stories like this, it doesn't mean that it's happening more. It just means that they want you to see it. The powers that be want you to see it, and they want you to get it in your mind, in your bring it to the forefront of your consciousness, and then they will offer the solution. Big Brother will, and then that's what you just had. So it's about looking to the government to fix social problems, and he talks about freedom, but like I said, what he's offering is not freedom. Be happy. That's what he's basically saying. Don't be angry, and everything is going to be better. So that was just very, very creepy message, and now we're going to move on. These first two articles up are about our buddies Google, who are always in the Big Brother news. And this one is titled, Google Tightening Privacy Leash on Its Employees. It says Google Incorporated is tightening its privacy leash on employees in an effort to ensure they don't intrude on people while the internet search leader collects and stores information about its users. It says besides promoting longtime employee Alma Witten to be its director of privacy, Google said Friday that it will require all 23,000 of its employees to undergo privacy training. The company is also introducing more checks aimed at making sure workers are obeying the rules. Google's tougher privacy measures appear to be a response to recent breaches that have raised questions about the company's internal controls and policies. This is an article that is going to, fix the facts and that, and it's going to say, oh, well, Google's going back to the table, the drawing board, and they're going to train their employees, and it's the same rhetoric that you hear about the government being incompetent, and, oh, the stupid government, they don't know what they're doing, and I spoke of this in yesterday's video about how the government's very, 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 I can't stress this enough, very efficient at whatever they want to do. Especially when they're collecting data. They're very efficient at it. They're inefficient at other things like social things like fixing the roads or anything else like that. They're horrible with because, well, it's not their responsibility to take care of you or do anything about you. It's about to steal from you and then take that money and carry out an agenda that most people have no clue of. But basically, it's about tracking the slaves. And so here they're going to tell you that we're going to, we weren't trained enough. We're going to have to go and put our employees through training. So then maybe that way we won't be, invading in people's privacy anymore. So I think we all know that that's not really going to be the case. Canada says Google Wi-Fi sniffing collected personal data. Canada's privacy commissioner said Tuesday that Google's recent Wi-Fi sniffing was a serious violation of Canada's privacy rights and included collection of personally identifiable information. It says here Jennifer Stoddard gave the search engine giant until February to implement a series of privacy safeguards. If it complies, she said, she will consider the matter closed. Said our investigation shows that Google did capture personal information, in some cases highly sensitive personal information such as complete emails. Stoddard said in a statement, the incident was a serious violation of Canadians' privacy rights. Says here Google says its cars grabbed emails and passwords. Google Incorporated admitted for the first time its Street View cars around the world accidentally collected more personal data than previously disclosed, including complete emails, passwords, that potentially breathing new life into probes in various countries. And then this is what it's talking about. And the next one up is Exterminator Armored Truck will watch Illinois neighborhoods. Creative law enforcement isn't just new to St. Clair County Sheriff Merle Justice. Last year, the dean of the region's chief cops sponsored a, quote, haunted crack house that used an old Grange hall to depict the life of a young drug addict. It says here, before that, Justice publicized a, quote, drug house of the week aimed at shaming dealers into leaving town. On Tuesday, his deputies lifted a plastic tarp to unveil his newest idea, an armored truck to park in problem neighborhoods as a vandal-proof platform to transmit live pictures. Let me go on here. He says, I thought a lot about the names. I thought about the cockroach would have been appropriate. He says, but we've settled the Exterminator. Says they donated and rebuilt armored truck once used to carry cash is fitted with cameras, digital recorders, and gear to stream live video. Deputies will park it in front of the dwellings and troublemakers for days at a time if necessary to reduce nuisance crimes. And they say that it sends a message. It says, we will not tolerate drug trafficking, littered lawns, loud noise, and other neighborhood nuances, he said. The cameras should keep criminals on the run and give residents a peace of mind. That kind of reminds me of the X-Files episode with the little where the neighborhood is supposed to be like one of the nicest gated communities in the country, and they're like a bunch of fascists and stuff. Their mailboxes you have to have it a certain color, and you can't have anything that sticks out that's individualistic. But yeah, that's what this reminds me of. The picture. That's about all that they show for this picture. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So you're just that's what the truck can see. And then there's the inside. So there you go, folks. Pretty much. all you need to see about that. It says a look inside the Austin-based fusion center. So now openly these things exist. Before it was just a bunch of conspiracy nuts talking about these fusion centers as they wrote reports about normal American citizens as they may be possible terrorists. So now they talk about them in the news, and there they go right there. Look at that. Nice little fusion center. Little mug shots up there. And it says here, agencies across the state are working together to fight crime. It says that the Texas Department of Public Safety held a dedication Thursday morning for what is known as a fusion center. The center sits inside a building at the DPS headquarters north of Austin. And it said they allowed the media inside for a rare look at how the agencies work together to solve the crimes. Large screens and rows of computers fill one room after another at the center. Each room is dedicated to a type of intelligence gathering, including border security and gang activity. Aww. Border security and gang activity. Dude, all I read is articles about how the government doesn't give a crap about border security. So, I don't buy that. And as far as gang activity, the government doesn't care because they are a gang. They're a bunch of thugs, a mafia. So they're not out to stop them. So, who is this for? This is for the people that they said. It's for everyday normal Americans. And, in case the sheep try to get outside the fence, this is what it's for. It's for you. And you saw a Scanner Darkly. They don't make these movies for nothing. They're trying to, there's messages in these movies. Yeah, a lot of it's propaganda and programming for you. They slip a little bit of truth in there with a bunch of disinfo. And most people take the bait and identify with the character, and then you get your programming. But, with some movies like Scanner Darkly, there is an actual message in there. And there's a bunch of movies out there, so if you're new to this stuff, you got to have your guard up when you watch most media. But there are some that will that have some actual meaning to them. And it's Scanner Darkly. I recommend checking it out if you didn't watch it with our buddy Keanu Reeves, Neo. So it says the next one up here is every email and website to be stored. I've read at least 2 to 3 different articles with the same exact title. So. And within the past year and a half. Every email, phone call, and website visit is to be recorded and stored after the coalition government revived controversial Big Brother snooping plans. It says it will allow security services and the police to spy on the activities of every Briton who uses a phone or the internet. Moves to make every communication provider store details. They're talking about your ISP, your Verizon or Comcast. It said details for at least a year will be unveiled this year, sparking fresh fears over a return of the surveillance state. Oh, it laughed. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't get the memo. The Pentagon will help Homeland Security Department fight domestic cyber attacks, and they've adopted new procedures. So check that out. And all the links will be posted, as always, underneath the video in the description. This is invisible DNA body spray technology may soon be installed at a business near you. UK companies developed technology says it will deter thieves from robbing a local business. And the DNA spray, as it is called, coats robbers with an invisible DNA mist that cannot be washed off and remains on the skin and hair for weeks, allowing authorities to better link culprits to the crimes they commit. Next one up is Chinese pensioners tracked by GPS. Forgetful grandparents in Shanghai are being tracked by satellite to help their children keep an eye on them. Parking tickets issued from CCTV says after covering the town with video cameras, assurances were made that it was for cracking down on violent crime. Head prosecutor for NICE, Eric de Montgolfier, has now authorized automatically sending fines for parking offenses caught on camera. Just testing the public, testing them. NSA cartoons encourage kids to spy on their families. So there you go. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Oh, okay. So next one up, Cyber Shield to make NATO defense invisible. And that's even creepier, right, than the Fusion Center. I mean, look at this. I mean, this looks like HARP technology in there. But moving on here, it says MySpace apps leak user data. It says site sends personal IDs when ads are clicked. A journal investigation finds. And lastly, NASA AMS Worden reveals DARPA-funded 100-year Starship program. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Visit ggnonline.com and have a wonderful weekend.